Now, let's turn it over to Andrea Wilkinson, our sculptor, and accompanying her pieces, the painter, Christie. Tell us about the show.
First of all, we want to just, again, welcome everybody for coming tonight, especially on such a rainy, yucky night. Really appreciate you attending. And secondly, just wanted to say briefly the inspiration for this show. This, by the way, is the third time Andrea and I have collaborated on a show. And we find that collaborating has been a wonderful experience for both of us. It helps us to sort of throw ideas back and forth, and I think we find a little bit of inspiration from each other. So anyway, the theme for this show is based on wild animals, and we used the words of John Muir as our starting point for inspiration. There's a little bit of a longer description on the flyers that are over here as far as the words of John Muir. But anyway, just take a look around and see if there's one that you can identify with. Inspiration for me, a lot of it came from my first visit to Yellowstone. And have a funny story about the otter. Maybe later on I'll tell you about it. And then when I close my eyes and think of Yellowstone, I think of the image that's in this painting over here with the grasses and the bison. That's what comes to mind when I close my eyes. So that's the inspiration for that one. So anyway, my paintings are all acrylic on textured surfaces. And if you have any questions, I'll be happy to answer. And they are all for sale.
So hello, welcome. Thank you for coming. I know there are some of you here who came a long way, and I do appreciate your efforts in being here. It's very nice to look out and see your faces. I am the sculptor, and you may think, looking at the different sculpture, that someone with a split personality created them. Some are bronze, and some are paper mache. I use that term a little bit loosely. It's really more mixed media with paper on the outside. They're not all that different as far as construction goes. I start with an armature, and I build from the inside out. I finish, with the bronze pieces, I finish with, of course, texture, physical textures, because I'm trying to replicate the fur, the hair, and put some movement into it. I spend a lot of time working on faces, trying to give them some personality. With the paper, same thing, start in the middle and work out, and then the final surface, instead of being a physical, textural surface, it's more of a visual surface. So when I'm working with the bronze, I'm working with basically brown clay, and I'm basically getting a finished product after I take it to the foundry of a brown animal. So for me, it's very fun to change, kind of switch modes and go into this paper phase where instead of a textural surface, I have a color surface. And instead of trying to replicate fur, I'm just giving the impression of feathers through the color. And I can have a lot of fun with the color that I don't get to have with the clay. So I like them both, but it's just a difference. So when I'm doing the bronze, then I kind of have to stop and change gears and go into this other mode. So yes, I'm two. There are two of me, I guess. So, but thank you for coming. Are there any questions about anything? Painterly or sculpturally? Well, thank you. Look around, please, and thank you for coming.